headphones plugged in. That's why I didn't just... Hold on. Anyway, what's up, y'all? I am back. I know normally on Mondays I do my year's list, but this weekend I just couldn't get to do my list for 99. And then today I was just too busy to get to it. But thankfully, my friend Mara sent me an article from Screenrant I can roast. Basically, the article is about how Mad Max it's about Mad Max basically not being needed as the title character. They're trying to it's trying to puff up this Furiosa movie that's supposed to be a spin-off about Furiosa from Fury Road, which was not a Mad Max movie. That was a pretty looking, just, if it wanted it to just be a Mad Max inspired movie, fine, but it was not Mad Max. It wasn't. Max is a side character in his own movie. You have people, even at the time, trying to argue, oh, Max is a side, and essentially that's what kind of this one does. But the article basically, essentially, the 2 points they made was they try to say, oh, Mad Max already kind of showed you don't need Max. It's like, no, that's why Fury Road sucked. Don't get me wrong, Furiosa's not a bad character. Granted, I've only watched that movie once, but this whole franchise has always been about Max. This idea that it wasn't essentially the first Mad Max. Obviously, I'll say this: I like Mad Max. It's not my franchise like that, but I had to roast this. It's Screen Rant, so I get an opportunity to roast Screen Rant. So why not? But I guess before we get into this, I'm doing this video next Monday. I'll do my 1999 list, so we'll be back to that. But tomorrow, Quantum of Solace. Wednesday, True Lies. Thursday, we're gonna start the Equalizer movie since Equalizer 3 is next Friday. I figure why not this week start Equalizer and then we can do Equalizer 2, and then now we can do Equalizer 2 before reviewing 3 that weekend. So I figure since we have about a week till it comes out, and I don't have anything to do on Thursdays right now, so we'll do Equalizer 1, which I really liked, actually. It's unfortunate, like, I like those movies, it came out about the same time as John Wick, so it just kind of got seen as a John Wick ripoff. It's not. I mean, the only similarity is, I guess, is they're assassins, but that's about it. And I guess there's a little kind of revenge thing there, but aside from that, that's what unfortunately kind of got seen as well. Even though I think people like those movies, it kind of got seen as a John Wick ripoff because it kind of came out about the same time or a little bit after. But Equalizer 1 is really good, so I'll be doing that one tomorrow on Thursday. Then Friday, Spider-Man 3. Gonna rub some dirt in your eye. Bully Maguire is definitely gonna be the thumbnail for that one. And then I'll figure out what I'm going to do Saturday if I do video on Saturday. And then Sunday for sure. I'll figure out what I'm going to do Sundays. I don't think there's anything coming out this week. So I might do Voyage of the Demeter. Finally, I know. I was supposed to do that yesterday. And just because of the weather, I didn't get to go to the theater. So I'll be doing that. I'll probably for sure try to do that this Thursday. I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters, though. Just because it's already going to be on digital soon, so I might just watch it, not in theaters though, just because of the how much time, but I still want to review it. But yeah, this article, Mad Max has always been about Mad Max. The first one is almost like he starts off as this, like, main state patrol, like he starts off as just patrolman, regular cop, but then his partner gets killed. He eventually descends, and he kind of succumbs to the elements and becomes Mad Max, the Road Warrior, hence the title of the second movie. Even in the second movie, he isn't necessarily like a hero he's doing things for himself. Even when he was, helping that village, he initially did not want to do that. He just wanted them to fix his, like, ride and shit, and then he was going to leave. That was his original plan. Max is always kind of, like, at this point, he's for himself. He's not necessarily supposed to be a hero. That's the whole point of this franchise. And then, like, the third one, he's kind of like a legend. The legend of Mad Max. That's what this franchise is supposed to be about. Yeah, they try to say like, well, it's supposed to be about this dystopian, and they mention like against capitalist oppressment. What the fuck are you bringing capitalism for in this? That has nothing to do with it. That was never the intention. This is just a post-apocalyptic world, which realistically would be capitalistic, by the way, because you got to keep what you have. Anyway, Jesus fucking Christ, Screen Rant. You don't have media literacy at all. But anyway, like the fact that you try to say, oh, it gives it. They try to say like that. One of the second reasons was, oh, it gives an opportunity for other characters to shine. Essentially, I'm ad-libbing it, but that's essentially what they said. Characters to shine, and that the franchise can't just survive on one character when that's not true. Literally, Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, those are franchises basically on one fucking character. So that's not true. Yeah, there's other characters technically within it, but if we're gonna be real, the franchise of Batman and Superman, you know why they're successful? Because of those characters. It would be the same thing with Max. I'm sorry, I think Furiosa's gonna flop. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. I think she's a great actress. I think Chris Hemsworth is in it. I think he's a good actor. Unfortunately, he gets wasted in a lot. Granted, he's been badass in these extraction movies, but same deal. People want to watch Mad Max for Mad Max, not Furiosa. And then the other thing is not even Charlie's Theron either. It just is. I like Anya Taylor-Joy. I love her. I think in general she's a great actress. I'm not gonna see this. I'm not watching a world of Mad Max. It's supposed to be about Max. Yes, theoretically, you can argue the world is somewhat of a character too, but if you're going to be real, the core character is Max. That is one of the things that this franchise has always been about. There's a reason you don't really see Fury Road talked about as much. People like to act like it's this great movie, but do you see Fury Road talked about like even beyond Thunderdome? I feel like people talk about more because those other ones were about Max, and I think Tom Hardy could have been. Honestly, I think he could have been a good Max if they let him. The movie didn't let him. And they try to also say that the Furiosa movie could set up Mad Max 5, which I don't want a Mad Max 5. Okay, only one way I'd accept a Mad Max 5, realistically, it'd be a Mad Max 4, because I do not count Fury Road as a Mad Max movie. It just isn't. And it's even just on its own. How do you include it in the trilogy? It just can't. One is a different actor who looks younger than Mel Gibson at the time of doing, Beyond Thunderdome. So no, it's just, I almost look at it like, I can't even look at it as an Elseworld. It's not Mad Max. It just isn't. So to me, realistically, it'd be Mad Max 4. But the only way I'd accept it is if it's Old Man Max with Mel Gibson. It's Mel Gibson's Max, but he's old. I'd actually be kind of like Logan style a little bit. I'd be cool with that. Have Mel Gibson himself direct it. Fuck it. I'd watch that. But besides the point, what would you even do with a Mad Max? Because all Mad Max 5, I feel like, would just be Fury Road Part 2, where it would just be cool visuals, but it wouldn't be a Max movie. Because Max is I don't even think he had any dialogue, really. You didn't even really have any dialogue in the fucking movie, so it's like, that's the disappointing part. Because I think Tom Hardy's a good actor, but the movie didn't even really even let him act. And I'm sorry, this just isn't like whatever I think of Star Wars now. You can make an argument the story is a Star Wars story where it's set within Star Wars. Yeah, you could argue it theoretically. It's kind of set around one character, but you can, because the world itself is bigger. I don't think you could do that with Max. Because all it would be, I feel like without Max, let's just be real, it would just feel like a Mad Max ripoff. It would just be like, okay, you're just trying to be Mad Max, but without Max. And I don't want to watch that. And I just don't think anyone's going to want to watch that. And that's why I think this is going to flop. I just don't see And it's an origin story that no one fucking asked for. Furiosa is a character who, okay, I'll admit she was okay in Furiosa Road, as I call it, but this is not worth making a prequel over, a whole movie over. And I'm sorry, this isn't like Star Wars where you can do the world of Mad Max. I don't want to see that, because then all that to me is, A, it just makes me want to be like, where's Max? And B, it would just feel like a Mad Max ripoff, even though it's supposed to be tied into the actual franchise. Because at the end of the day, it would just feel like a generic dystopian story that's just trying to be Mad Max, even though it's supposed to be set within the world. It just wouldn't work. No one wants this. Screenrant, fuck you. I'll admit, this isn't one of your worst articles. That Jurassic Park article is still worse. It's probably the worst one. That and the James Bond one. Those are like tied for two of the worst. Those broke me. This is pretty bad though. This is just this trend of like, no, we can do this franchise without the title character needs to stop. No, there's a reason we watch Mad Max. Hey, fucking title, it's in the name. Mad Max. Not Mad Dystopian World. It's Mad Max. Because it's about fucking Max. The first one is about Max basically becoming Mad Max. The second one is in the third one, I kind of combine, are kind of about the legend and the character of Max. And in the second movie, he's not a hero. He even, like, is basically almost willing to ditch the fucking, the city, you know, the little village he was helping. You know? He was ready to ditch him. But anyway, I had to roast this, and because I figured I need something to talk about, so I got to thank Mara for giving me something to talk about. So, yeah, fuck this article. Who knows if I can find something else this week? Because I kind of feel like I want to roast them again. Because holy shit, Screenrant, y'all just keep bringing out these bangers. Like holy shit, man. Max is why we watch these movies, not just it's a dystopian world. Because no, then it just feels like I'm watching a generic dystopian movie without Mad Max. I just feel like I'm just watching generic dystopian world movie. That's just the truth. Max is why we watch. I'm gonna reiterate again. Max is why we watch these fucking movies. Because I'm sorry, get over it. There are some franchises that are carried by one character or two. I know, and it's a weird example, but Rush Hour. Rush Hour is carried by two people. It'd be like saying, let's do a Rush Hour movie, but no Lee and Carter. You know? Oh, let's do a Halloween movie without Michael Myers. Oh, wait. They did that. Oh, let's do a Friday the 13th without Jason. Oh, wait. They did that. You see my point? This idea, this could get past with franchise being about one character. Halloween, sorry. The truth of the matter is Halloween is Michael Myers. Friday the 13th is Jason Voorhees. Freddy Krueger is Nightmare on Elm Street. It'd be like trying to do those movies. Granted, two of them, they already tried that, and it failed. I think it's gonna fail here. A Furiosa prequel of a character no one really asked about. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I just had to go in on this article. Tomorrow, I will be doing Quantum of Solace. That I'm going in blinds. I have never seen it. I have seen, like, both sides. I've seen people say it's good, but I've also heard it's absolute shit. So we'll see. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to cheers, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Alright, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace.